there, everybody. This is Young Living Diamond Sarah Harnisch. I'm the author of Game Plan and Ignite and Fearless, which we just redid for the new starter kit, and Unstuck, how to talk to humans and get them to respond to you. And you are in for a power hour. This is going to be really, really intense. We're going to do a lot of deep heart training and a lot of action steps and a lot of things that'll pull you out of your comfort zone. But what an honor to be able to speak for Ali. Ali is one of my best friends in Young Living, and for him to do a symposium and put just months and months of work collecting these videos, it really no benefit to him. It's just to help you guys grow your business, and any content that my husband John and I can throw at that will really help you guys is worth it, because I would do just about anything for that man. So I hope that this really blesses you. We got a brand new comp plan. We've got Silverbound now, so it's time to run in your organizations. And I'm going to give you a lot of tools and a lot of ways to be able to grow your business and a lot of new ideas. So, this might be information overload for you. This project took me 3 years to finish, over 8,000 interviews just for this one book. And so it's okay if you have to take this video in like little 10-minute chunks. Everything that you watch is just really, truly going to bless you. It's going to bless your organization and get you on that diamond stage. Because, man, I want to go on retreats with you. We need to be hanging out, right? So I'm going to start at the very, very beginning. And I apologize. When I'm shooting videos, it doesn't let me flip my screen around. So I'm going to have to turn my camera around. And it might give you a little like feel like you're flinging around the room, but I'll go as slow as I can. So forgive me for the back and forth, but I really want to show you my screen. I've got a professional PowerPoint and a video that'll make you cry, actually 2 that'll make you cry really good. And we're gonna have some fire, and we're gonna have some good training. So this entire training is on a brand new book that I literally just released. It's called Unstuck. It is the second book in the Game Plans trilogy. There's going to be 3 books total, but I'm not writing the third one till we hit Royal Crown Diamond. And this one, basically, we went on tour for Game Plan, and it was in 55 different cities for Game Plan. And every single city, no matter what continent my feet were on, basically you guys told me the same thing, and that's I can't get people to come to class. I understand Game Plan. Like, I get the business strategy. I understand the comp plan. I've waited 20 years for that book to get written, and I totally am picking up what you're putting down. But I'm trying to implement this stuff, and people are not getting starter kits, or they're getting starter kits and they're staying zero, and they're dropping off my organization. And I'm just really disenchanted. I don't know what the next step is, and I don't know why when I hand out samples, it's not leading to starter kits. So please help. And that launched this huge project of basically how to get an audience, how to get people in front of you, how to listen to them authentically, how to connect with the humans outside of your door, and how to have that lead to OGV growth and longevity in your organization with essential rewards. And I interviewed thousands of people and collected their data and said, listen, when you have a kit sale, what do you do? What are the words you say? How do you get them to the class? What are the steps that you take? What way are you sharing? What are the things you're saying that connect with them? And I compiled all of that data into this book. So I pray that you go and grab it on Amazon, go grab it on my website, oilabilityteam.com. Run boot camps with your team. We've got boot camp for Unstuck up too, and it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. The scripts in this book don't cost you anything. The professionally designed PowerPoints, totally free. And I had graphic artists do that stuff. I'm not good at pretty pictures, but they're really good at it. So I pray that all these free tools just knock the socks off of your business builders when they realize it's as hard as a 90-second download, point, click, read the script underneath the slide. Like, if they can share at that level, we're going to make them look really, really good. But I'll show you all that later. So without further ado, let's jump right into the Unstuck project. And I'm so excited to be able to share this with you. This is just a love letter from me to you. And I pray that you really feel the passion behind every single word as we get you unstuck. We're going to get you unstuck. So this is the name of the book, Unstuck, How to Talk to Humans and Get Them to Respond to You. And these are my children. You can go, oh, all right. The picture's a little bit old. They're a little bit older than this now, but these are my 5 kids. And you guys know my story if you have read any of Game Plan. And if you haven't, go snag that off Amazon, or both books are on Audible. Go listen to them if you're a big listener. But basically, in a couple sentences, I got invited to an oils class. I thought it was quackery. I didn't get the kit. And it took my upline many months, from January to May, to get me in that class. And after I came, it took 7 Facebook IM messages, 1 a week, as I put it off for me to buy the kit. And I got peppermint on my belly during a stomach bug Armageddon, and it stopped my bathroom bliss, and I was hooked for life. Hashtag all the oils. 4 months later, we hit silver. 2 years later, we hit diamond, and it was all because of a box of plant juice. So we went from this. That is the house that I raised my children in. We had three of our kids living in our backroom storage space with a plug-in heater because there was no heat source there. And we had sheets for doors and bookcases for walls. I have 3 of my children's bedrooms in that photo there. We went from that, and before that, 12 years in the projects, living on food stamps and all that. So we went from this to this. This was our diamond house. It's up for sale now in New York, and we relocated to South Carolina. And I love that I have the ability to be able to relocate to South Carolina. But, basically, the cool thing is that the Lord just took our feet from that place of just poverty to standing on our own 2 feet. And our kids have a willable income, and we have freedom. And that's huge. You cannot put a price tag on resting your head every single night knowing that your kids are going to be cared for. And so that's where Young Living can go. Please go check out the income disclosure guide, because I just shared a little bit of our story with you, and I don't want to make claims that I did it and you can do it too. You can do it too if you roll up your sleeves and do the hard work and do the things that scare you a little bit. I was really scared when I was building my business. I'm still scared building my business. Even as a diamond, I'm still terrified every day that I get in front of human beings. But the freedom that John and I have built through this is way worth the fear that I have to endure to make sure that my babies are okay, that we have that willable income to pass along to them, and that I'm not stressed about where we are, that we can flee New York as refugees with their dumb laws and move to South Carolina and not even have our houses sold yet and still be okay on a diamond income. That's huge. That's huge. That falls into the category of safety of your family, right? And that for me is really big. And so this is where Young Living can go if you're not afraid, if you can get people in front of you, if you can hear their needs. And so today we're going to train on the ifs of the business. 92% of people in Young Living, of the 6 million people in Young Living, never build the business. And I really believe it's because they just don't stand on top of fear. They get a naysayer, or they get shut down, and they just shut the whole business down. And 8% actually build. And I think that number would be a lot higher if people could combat the ifs in their organization. So the number one thing that I hear, no matter where I'm at, is that you guys can't get people to come to classes. You invite, they do not come. You hand out samples, no kit, or they get the kit and they stay a 0 and they drop off your team in a year and you're just exhausted. And even your mom doesn't want to keep ordering on ER because it's too expensive, right? We're going to nip all of that in the bud in this video. So are you ready to jump right in? I'm going to give you 12 tips right out of Unstuck. And this is like 1% of the content of that book. So go get it and go read it and go fall in love, because it's really going to help you with your business. But I want to start with a story first. I want to share a couple very powerful stories, because I believe that your business starts with a why. The reason that you don't talk to people in an effective way is because you're going into every single conversation from a place of fear. What will they think of me? What if they say no? What if it hurts my friendship? What if they think I'm salesy? If you were not afraid, every single person outside your front door could be on your team. So this is Kyla. She's in my organization. She's a beautiful woman. I love her. And I met her about a month ago on the side of the road. I'm totally not even kidding. I was on a run. She was dog sitting. We struck up a conversation. She's caring for her 2 aging parents, and her finances are spread thin. And I said, I wouldn't be a good person if I didn't tell her what I did. So I told her. I ran back to my home. I gave her a purple bag, and I signed her on the crown diamond leg that I'm building. She got a kit, she got on Essential Rewards, she did a teacher training, she just had her 2nd class, and her very first, she signed her sister. Her second, she signed 2 friends and got them all on ER. And one of her friends wants to teach classes with her. And Kyla just hit star yesterday. So it all starts with a conversation. Now, in the same breath, this is Rachel. And in her arms is little Ruthie. And Rachel has had 103 no-show classes. Rachel is my sister. She also has a volume of 100,000 a month, and she's running for platinum. How? Well, she learned how to start a conversation and how to meet people's needs. My sister's an introvert. She's a green personality. And so these are her own words. Conversations are unnecessary. But she's got a strong why to have those conversations. She has to make sure that her daughter Ruthie is okay if anything happens to her and her husband. So let's talk about your why for just a minute. I know you guys have heard me say this many, many times if you follow me at all on Facebook, Oilability with Sarah, or on Instagram, or if you're on my website at all, but it's so important to repeat. The reason that your business isn't number 4, and it should be number 4, right? God, spouse, kids, work. So number 4. But the reason it's not even number 4 is because your why isn't strong enough. You haven't dedicated time to do things that scare you because your why isn't pounding in your head your way out. And it might be because you're tired, might be because you're distracted, you're overwhelmed, you're in survival mode. I know all of those places, but those places are going to own you for decades if you don't fight your way out. You got to find your why, and you got to fight with your why. You do a class a week because of your why. You have a conversation with a Kyla, even though it's awkward and scary, because of your why. You offer an oil to a sick friend because of your why. Your why is what moves you out of your comfort zone. You have to want out. So here's my question for you. And I want you to write this on a Post-it note and stick it on your bathroom wall so you see it every single day. Are you broken enough to move? Are you broken enough to move from the places where you are? When you look outside your door, you see humans. I want you to talk to the humans. Talk to them. That's how you build this business. So to get you to process and understand what I mean, I'm going to take you to my darkest place. And this is pretty heavy stuff. We work through a lot of this stuff in the Unstuck workbook. And so if you want a good kick in the face, who doesn't want a kick in the face? All right, come on. Get the workbook and work through it, because that's what we use that as the training ground for a lot of these heart issues to help you process some of this stuff. And so I'm going to share my darkest moment as a mom with you, because maybe if you're in that broken place right now and you just cannot see a way for yourself to be able to move, maybe this will help you just a little bit as you're processing this business. So let me turn my camera around again, and I'm going to show you a picture of my oldest son, Gabriel, who was nonverbal autistic until he was 7 years old, and still autistic. He's still autistic now, but he's gotten a lot of his words back. But raising him was pretty rough. So this is a picture of my son. He's an amazing, amazing young man. That's his second-born brother, and little Gracie is our third-born. And I want to precursor this story with a disclaimer, because, again, it's the darkest time in my life. And John and I, we are not anti-medicine, but we are pro-preventative maintenance when it comes to our bodies. And so my sister, my best friend, they're both RNs. We have a lot of respect for the medical field. That said, we have very strong views on vaccines. My son was 18 months old when he got 4 of his vaccines, and he spiked a fever, and he didn't talk again any more than 8 words. I mean, he stopped saying my name, Mom. He called everybody Anna. Mom, Dad, everybody was Anna, until he was 7 years old. And then he was diagnosed with 4 mental health illnesses after he was in the 90th percentile for everything. We have no family history on either side of what Gabe was going through. And so it led us down this very long road as parents. And at one point, we had speech therapists coming to our home 3 times a week, and 27 different people involved in his care in high school to be able to get him to a place where Gabe was okay. And so I want you to understand, if you're a special needs mom, man, I don't even need to tell you anything. You get it. You fight your hardest every single day for your kids. And Gabe is an amazing young man. I love him, but I had to parent him very, very differently than the other kids when they were growing up. So let me give you like a very, very short abbreviated version of what being Gabriel's mom looked like for a span of 10 minutes. So one day I woke up and I heard crying outside my window, outside my bedroom door, and I step outside, and Noah, our littlest guy, had whipped a Lego at Gabriel, and Gabe grabbed him by the throat and had him up against the wall and was shoving dog treats down his throat until his lips were turning blue. So I ran over. I'm using my body as a human shield to try to get Gabriel off of Noah so that I can help him so he's not choking on these dog treats. And Gabe gets upset that I've taken Noah away because he can't articulate how he feels. He can't speak. So, getting mad at Gabe is like getting mad at a dyslexic child for not being able to read, or a person with thyroid problems, for having weight gain. It's not his fault. It's just the way that his brain is wired. So you can't use corporal punishment. You can try to use words, and sometimes they understand you and sometimes they don't understand you. And a lot of things come out as physical aggression that really aren't aggression. It's just how they're processing the world. So trying to stay on top of that as a mom is just exhausting, especially with 5 kids in the house. So he walks away, and Benjamin is sitting in his chair, and Gabe decides he wants Benjamin's tablet, so he just pulls it out of his hands. Ben gets upset and tries to pull it back, and Gabriel slaps his face so hard that the imprint of all 5 fingers are on the side of Ben's face, and now I have 2 kids screaming. So Gabe walks out of the house, and Grace is sitting in the van. Well, Gabriel thought he was going alone somewhere with me in the van, and so he grabs Grace by her hair, pulls her out of the van, and throws her outside. She skins both of her knees. She's sitting in a pile of blood. It's pouring rain outside, and I have 2 kids inside screaming. I'm trying to get the dog treats out of Noah's mouth. His lips are back to normal color. I've got ice on Benjamin's face, and now Grace is outside in a puddle of blood. That's 10 minutes of my life as a mom. So you just go from fight to fight to fight to fight. And one day we were driving to church, and Gabriel leaned back and he looked at his brother and he said, "If you don't stop talking, I'm going to stab you." And of course, his brother kept talking because he's 12 years old. And so Gabe reached down into his satchel and he pulled out a mechanical pencil and he put it right into Isaiah's kneecap. And we had blood all over the place and shattered plastic everywhere. We had to go to the emergency room, have x-rays on Isaiah's knee, make sure all the plastic shards were out of his knee. And, Gabe was spooked. Isaiah was spooked. And I turned to John and I said, I can't do this anymore. I'm exhausted. It's just, there's no way to stay ahead. And I don't know what he's going to do in the next second. And I can't guarantee the safety of all of my other children, in addition to the safety of Gabriel. And so I made the hardest decision I've ever made as a mom. And that was to watch my son get charged by the state police, because he needed to have consequences for the decisions that he was making. And so I watched him get charged with a felony, two misdemeanors, booked, put in jail, fingerprinted, handcuffed, the whole thing. And then he got out and I said, "Are you doing okay, buddy?" And he said, "I'm still standing, aren't I?" And so John and I knew we were going to have to put him in a school on the other side of the country. So our family got ripped in half because Gabe had to go somewhere else to learn how to articulate how he felt, so that didn't come out as physical violence, because he was looking at a life of prison if that's the way that he responded to every situation where he couldn't process it. And I remember one day I was driving up the hill from work and I was just overwhelmed at all of the things, having our family ripped in half, all the stuff we'd gone through with Gabe, having a child of mine charged with a felony, like just so many things. And I pulled over to the side of the road when the song came on, and I'm listening to the words, and God did a couple of miracles, because my thought was just to keep driving straight, go up to an overlook at the top of the hill, and just drive my van 1,600 feet right off the top of the overlook. And I don't know if you've ever been in that place where you just want to give up, but I felt mediocre at life, mediocre at being a mom, mediocre at my job, mediocre at taking care of my kids, mediocre at making food. Like, I was just dropping the ball on everything. And I thought pretty much anybody would do a better job at this job than I was doing as a mom. And it was just a feeling of just complete overwhelmness. And so I saw this little beam of light on my leg, and God was doing a few miracles in my heart, because I was about to not be there anymore. And I looked down, I saw this little beam of light. Well, in New York, that's a big deal in March, because it's like 10 degrees and blustery and windy and cloudy for like 3 months straight. And there had been no sun for weeks. And so I get out of my van and I look, and that little beam of light went across my legs and filled my whole van, then filled the whole field next to me and filled the whole field on the other side of me. And it was just absolutely amazing. It's just amazing. And I felt like I had the ear of God. And so I just kind of looked up into the sky and I'm like, "God, why? Why do I have so much going on all the time? Why am I overwhelmed all the time? I'm tired of being overwhelmed. I can't handle this anymore, and I need a break. Like, could I quit my job?" And I heard this audible, "No." And I asked, I was like, why? Why can't I quit my job? Why can't I have something off of my plate? I love anchoring news, but my kids are more important than anchoring news. And I heard God audibly say, "Sarah, when you're tired, you rest in me. You run, and you're holding onto your business like this, and you're holding onto your kids like this, and your life like this, and you're not surrendering anything. And it's the only place I can speak to you is when you're completely run down to nothing. And so what I want to see is you do this. You hand those things over to me and stop being a control freak in every single aspect of your life." And so I just kind of sat down in the car, and the wind went out of my lungs, because I knew he was right. I was. And I was weary because of my own choices. And I wasn't resting in him, and I wasn't relying on him, and I definitely hadn't learned how to surrender. And so the release of the doubts of your business happens in the surrender of your gifts. You got to surrender your time, your tongue, your talents, your doubt, your fear. You just put it in a box and you go leave that at the cross. And that means no fear and no anxiety, because it's already been paid for. So let's get out there and stamp out your worries and build your freedom. And I'm going to end this whole presentation with what happened to Gabriel after he came back from the school that he was in. And it's really going to be an encouragement to you. Whether you drop the ball on anything, I hope it really encourages you. So are you lost? I want to go back to that concept of tongue, head, feet, right? Tongue, head, feet. You speak what you want said over your business. Your head starts to follow, and then your feet follow that, whether it's on purpose or inadvertent. I want you to write down the opposite of what you hear coming out of your mouth. And this is what you say over your business every single day. You speak it, and your head believes it, and then your feet start to follow. I can't do this because I have no money. I can do this because I have enough. I can't do this because I have no friend circle. I can do this because of friends of friends. I can't do this because I live in a small town. I can do this because the size of my town does not dictate the size of my business. I can't do this because I'm too old. I can do this because I am mature. I can't do this because I'm too young. I can do this because I can connect with people, and I have the gift of technology and networking. So let's talk a little bit about excuses. I'm just doing some mindset training, and then I'm going to give you the tips out of Unstuck. Couple more here. I can't do this because I'm not pretty. I can do this because God made me perfect, and he made no mistakes when he made me. I can't do this because I don't have a business to pull from. I can do this because it doesn't take a network to build. It takes standing on top of fear and talking to humans, and I can talk to humans. I can't do this because I'm not an aromatherapist. I don't have any titles. I don't know enough. I'm overwhelmed. I don't have all the pretty letters after my name. You know what? That's great because it doesn't take that to build this business. I can't do this because I don't have time. I will make time because freedom is worth fighting for. So excuses. We're going to do a little storytelling right out of Unstuck, and I'm just going to debunk all of your excuses in 2 minutes. We're just going to knock them right out right at the beginning of the presentation because I want to get to business building stuff and give you some ideas. And I can't do that if your head is stuck in the land of excuses. So just walk with me. This is right out of Unstuck, how to talk to humans and get them to respond to you. So when my head is just swimming in excuses, then I know that it's time for me to just start combating the excuses with fact. So let's just look at fact, right? And I'm just reading right out of the book. So you're going to see my eyes looking down because I'm straight up reading this book to you. So here are some of the facts that I can toss at you with some of these excuses. And what I want you to do is I want you to listen to every single sentence I'm saying, and I want you to hear the excuse underneath it. There are more than 450 diamonds in Young Living right now. There are diamonds that started from extreme poverty and some that started with significant wealth. I can't do this because I just don't have enough money to build my business, right? You can hear the excuse. There are diamonds that began their organizations in large cities and some that started in towns of 600. Well, everybody in my town already has oils. Like, I don't know who to talk to. Everybody's got it. There are diamonds that moved across the country or across the world, and they left everything that they knew behind, including all their friends and family. Right? Everybody's already said no. I don't know anyone. I live in a remote area. And there are diamonds teaching in the small towns they grew up in. There are diamonds that are missionaries living in isolated locations. There are diamonds that were famous before they ever got a Young Living starter kit. And there are diamonds that build entirely on social media like Instagram and Facebook. And there's diamonds that built with cassette tapes on horseback. And both of them ended up with a diamond ship, right? Both ways work and neither way is wrong. There are diamonds with 15 children. I can't do this because I got kids and I've got no babysitter. I'm not going to give you any more of the excuses. You just listen up and you find them in each of the sentences, all right? And there are diamonds that live alone. There are diamonds in their 70s and above and diamonds that have just broken into their 20s. There are diamond men that built without a spouse. And there are female diamonds that built without the support of their husband. And there are husband and wife diamond teams that are wildly successful. And there are single diamonds that enjoy the exact same amount of success. I don't have a support system. There are diamonds whose spouse is still working because they love their job and they've never been to a Young Living event. And there are diamonds that are quite shy and diamonds that love the biggest crowd that they can speak in front of. There are introverted diamonds and extroverted diamonds. There are diamonds from Malaysia and Singapore and Australia and Indonesia and Mexico and Europe, as well as diamonds from America. And each one found a way to share from their own place. There are diamonds with PhDs in various fields who have won the respect of their peers at their prior jobs, and they had very gifted skills outside of oiling. And there are diamonds who've been stay-at-home moms and dads for years with no title, just their last name and mama and daddy. And they still got a diamond ship. There are diamonds that are battling a major health crisis or have struggled with weight and hormone issues for years. And there are diamonds that are out there that are running gyms. A diamond ship is not based on how you look. It's not based on what the scale says. The majority of the diamonds have had no formal aromatherapy training, and they've never been to school for network marketing, sales, marketing, or business. And I can safely say that nearly all of the diamonds didn't have the time to launch their business when they did. Many were accidental business builders that got in just to get the product for free. They infectiously shared and they found freedom through it. But there were also some who started because of the business opportunity, and they were dedicated and they were focused from the get-go, and they planned strategically, and both got a diamond ship. Some had Royal Crown diamonds that knew their name and cell number by memory, and others never even met their diamond until their first time in retreat. Many don't even have an upline diamond. There are Royal Crown diamonds with senior star or inactive uplines. Do you know what that means? None of that stuff has anything to do with what it takes to be a young living diamond. It's true. So if you're holding out until you know more people, or your kids get older, or you lose weight, or you get more certifications, or more network marketing training, it's costing you rank up time. It's costing you. You don't need any of that stuff. It's not a qualifying factor for what it takes to go diamond, but I can tell you what is. There are only 3 things that grow your business: teaching classes in whatever form that looks like for you. And I'm about to wipe your fears away on the many methods of sharing in the coming pages, getting your team on essential rewards, and training your leaders. And I can tell you that all the diamonds did all 3 of those things to rank. They might have used different language, but they taught classes, they got people on ER, and they trained their leaders, and they did that with consistency and tenacity, and the amount of cash in their bank account or how many friends they had did not impact their rank. It was just their fight that impacted their rank. So you might be telling me you're too soft-spoken, not just to lead a team, but even to approach people. But here's the thing, even soft-spoken people have fight in them. They will go to the end of the earth to protect their families. And so personality doesn't matter. So they don't use that as a crutch to not share oils. You just need to share in a way that's comfortable for you. So you're ready to get down in some action steps here. This is right out of Unstuck, How to Talk to Humans and Get Them to Respond to You. It's a phenomenal book. So now what I'm going to do, we've done some mindset training, and now I want to hit on 12 key core principles out of Unstuck, because it's time to get you shaken up and time to get you running again. So first, if you're stuck, you just need Mojo. One kit sale can pull you out of a rut. Seriously? You get one kit sale, you'll be like, I'm a superstar. All right, I'm a superstar. I feel like I can do anything, right? I can do anything. You just need to get your head out of the gutter so that you're feeling empowered again. And so I'm going to give you kind of a quick start training guide to just really get you off the ground when it comes to Mojo Methods. So like, this is a thing that you could do today, tonight, tomorrow, and just kind of jump right in and use one of these methods to pull you out of that rut, to get that one kit sale so that you're not feeling like you can't build this business, right? You can build the business. You just got to get your head in the right place so you believe you can do it. So here are my top 4 Mojo methods, and then I'm going to take you through the 12 tips that I want for you to have from the book. So here we go. Mojo method number 1. Make sure I got that on the screen. There we go. Mojo method number 1 is warm market. When I first started building my business, there were a few key things that I did. First, I signed my circle. I signed the people closest to me, so friends, coworkers, family, and then I made it my personal goal to help them get their order for free. So make a list of every person that you know, whether it's Facebook friends, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Snapchat, your Christmas card list, your address book, all your saved contacts in your cell phone. Do you know MIT says that the average cell phone user has 347 contacts in their phone and talks to a startling 45 contacts every single month? There's 100 people on a silver team. That would be like 3.5 silver teams just in your cell phone, and they know you. It's not creepy, right? You're not a creepy creeper. So other places to pull from. The people in the cubicles next to you at work, people at church, parents of kids on my kids' basketball and soccer teams, friends where I volunteer, the teller at the bank that knows my name, the lady at the post office, the gas station clerk volunteer, people you see every day, the lady that just did my hair, she wants to get a kit. I just talked to her for a couple hours while she's doing my hair this week. You're going to be blown away by the people that you actually know. So build relationships one by one and get oil on their body, because conversations are an investment in your business. Mojo method number 2 is purple bags, and I'm bad because I didn't bring a purple bag with me to show you guys, but I'll just go to my website and show you a picture of what they look like. So 80% of your business is just being prepared. tools can say a lot more than you can in a very small space, which is why one of the things I do invest in for my business is purple bags. It's a little organza bag with a couple of tools on the inside of it that lead people to that starter kit. And I'll average six kit sales a month, sometimes even more, just by carrying these on me, because I need these tools at the right time when that conversation arises. So what's inside of it? A toxin-free life or a 101 CD. Those are on my website because it's teaching a whole class just by them popping it in their CD player as they're driving away from you. There's a photo of the starter kit, and I get those flyers at Life Science Publishing, or Jen O'Sullivan has ones that perfectly fit inside the purple bag. There's instructions on how to order. There's free printables on my website. We just updated them with the new virtual office, as well as a cover sheet. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. You can just print it off my site. Your contact information, Fearless, and the Fearless calendar. I just redid Fearless for the new kit. So brand new for 2020. It's a wonderful book that explains the why of oiling. There's really no book like it in Young Living. It's not a starter kit training guide. While it does have the starter kit in it and it does train on the kit, that's not the purpose. It's to train the lifestyle. You don't want to train the starter kit. You want to train the lifestyle so people will stick with Young Living after they get that starter kit. They've got to understand how to label read, why to label read, why to take the 3 cabinet challenge and go through their house and have a critical eye and start swapping things out in their cabinets. And a photo of the starter kit doesn't pull that off. You need something a little deeper than that. So it's going to train them on the why behind the lifestyle and how to start oiling, what that even looks like. The Game Plan Mini, I throw in those bags too, because I always drop the business on people. Always, always, always. You just never know where they are. So this is Fearless. It's a little itty bitty $1 book, super easy to share. Here's the Game Plan Mini, and this gives the business opportunity. So it's got John's and my story in it. And it also explains the income disclosure guide. There's steps that you can print out that show them how to order the starter kit and a little cover sheet, and it all goes inside an organza bag, and it's awesome. I mean, the Mini is the #1 prospecting book in all of Young Living. We sold over 4 million of those. Same thing with Fearless. It's the #1 book for getting people on Essential Rewards in all of Young Living. I mean, millions of those books have sold. So the one thing I'll tell you with purple bags is if you're not collecting their contact information, you are giving away your business. So we'll talk a little bit more about how to do that in a way that isn't very scary. Just asking their Facebook information before they walk away, because you've got enough time in a Walmart checkout line to make that happen. It's a safe space and they can unfriend you if they choose to. So Mojo method number 3 is vendor events, and these are great at firing you up, but there's a method to the madness. So most of our kit sales from this come from flip kits. Those are kits that you buy and you have on hand because they're walking into a storefront and they're expecting to make a purchase. It's a little different than just sitting in a 101 class. Don't make roll-ons, bring the starter kit with you, and then have a gift basket that they can register to win and make them fill out Diamond Rising deck cards to be able to get the basket. Let me show you what that looks like. I just gave you the key to my entire follow-up system. We designed this for Unstuck, and it is ridiculous. My personally enrolled right now is at 83% using these cards. And our team-wide went from 27 to almost 45% this month by training hardcore in follow-up. I think the big thing is we just don't remember where we left off in the conversation, right? And so these are little tiny 4x6 cards that track them from prospecting all the way to Royal Crown Diamond with check marks. There's no journaling. It's super quick. It's very easy to do. And I'm going to show you what they look like in just 1 second. So here are the 4 Mojo methods: warm market, purple bags, vendor events, and friends of friends. And we'll talk about friends of friends in a second. I just want to show you what the contact me cards look like. So you have them fill out the front of it when you're using it at vendor events or 101 classes. And it says, I've been to these classes: 101 oils, 102 thieves, 103 Ningxia, 104 CBD. What are my biggest health struggles? I'm looking for information on hormones, sleep, stress, pain, colds and flus, cleaning, supplements, on and on and on and on. Animals, skincare, nutrition, oils as a business. I snuck that one in there. Why I came to this class. And when contacted for aromatherapy training, I prefer texting, email, social media, Facebook, or Instagram, and I'm already a Young Living member. So, this asks all the right questions. So you know how to touch base. You know what the next conversation needs to include. You know what they're interested in. You know what they've already trained on. You've got all the details. So say they come to a class or they end up getting the starter kit. Now what happens? Now they get the second card. And this is their distributor card. And they're color-coded for your 6 legs in Young Living to get to Royal Crown Diamond. So I just check at the top, are they on ER or are they not on ER? And if they're not on Essential Rewards, I put a little Post-it note at the top of the card. And when I have 5 minutes to do follow-up, I grab this card. And then I run them through a funnel. So this is going to remind you where you left off with on the funnel. This card is a prospecting funnel. This card is an aromatherapy funnel. So we walked through the kit together. I gave them a pocket reference guide, discoverlsp.com, completed reading Fearless and filled in the 30-day calendar. I taught them 101 oils, 102 thieves, 103 Ningxia, 104 CBD. I trained them on essential rewards. I checked in on 30-day challenge calendars for Fearless, Thieves, Ningxia, CBD. And you can find all 4 of those calendars for free. They're accountability scavenger hunts through their team.com. I made an oils wish list. I showed them the Build My Oils Collection checklist and Fearless, and we broke that wish list down into 3 months of essential rewards orders. I invited them to a rally, a team event, or another class, or a launch event. Now, say they turn around and they go share oils with their mama. Now they're going to get the 3rd card. So these 3 cards would be paper clipped to each other, and you can track their journey from when they're walking in front of you and have never even heard of oils all the way to Royal Crown Diamond. So this 3rd card is a business funnel. So you got prospecting funnel, aromatherapy funnel, and business funnel. And so this just reminds you where you left off. And it might take them 3 years to fill this card out. And that's totally okay. It doesn't matter. Some of them might go through it in 2 weeks. So do you know their color personality and have them take a quick test? Have they personally attended the core 4 classes? Do they know what's in those classes? And if they made a 3-month ER wish list, they can't teach it if they haven't done it. Are they spending 100 PV on ER? Do they understand how Essential Rewards works? Have they read the Game Plan Mini, the book I just showed you, Build a Life Beyond Survival Mode? Have they been added to your aromatherapy training page so they get social media updates? Have they been added to your team business page? Have you completed the teacher training with them, which is on my website? It's free. It's a 1-page, super easy, 10-minute training to do that's on the Unstuck page. Did you give them the 101 script at the training? What are their goals of the business? So what's the why that they have? Did you teach a class to their circle of friends? You demo a class for them? Have they written their personal story, practiced the 101, taught their own 101 class? Have you trained on the diamond deck for follow-up, purple bags, Fearless, the Fearless calendar? Have they taught a 102 Thieves class, 103 Ningxia, 104 CBD using the Unstuck scripts at the back of the book? Once they have 4 kit sales and they achieve star rank, I give them Ignite, and I let them read that book for a full business training. And if they wish, they can do the Ignite boot camp and get trained on it. Ignite is my star rank up gift. And have they taught 4 to 6 classes in their first month of being a business builder, and they did it on these dates. And so this is my follow-up system for Young Living. It is extremely, extremely effective because you just leave a check mark, you put the card back in the card deck, and when you got 10 minutes for follow-up, you grab a couple cards and you do a couple more. The last Mojo method is friends of friends, right? This is your quick start training guide. So friends of friends. We hit on this a bit when we talked about warm market, but I just want to go a little deeper. Let me show you what this looked like in real life examples from my virtual office. So if I log into my VO and I just show you what the beginning of my business looked like. Month 1, July 2014, I had 7 members and 1,023 OGV. Month 2, August 2014, I had 27 members and 2,336 OGV. How on earth did I go from 7 to 27? I only knew these 7 people because I moved 800 miles away. So I asked them if they wanted me to teach class for their mom or their best friend. I knew they didn't want bright blue dish soap on their mom's counter, so I wanted to go be the bad guy and go teach for them and tap into their friend circles. And I made it my personal goal to make sure that they got their Essential Rewards order for free. Your team is 90% more likely to stay on Essential Rewards if they have one person under them on ER. They feel responsible for that person. So if and another way to make them stay on ER is make sure they get a paycheck that covers their ER order. So that's super, super easy to do, right? So you teach the core 4 classes and have 2 or 3 people sign up at each class, get them on Essential Rewards by training them in the core 4 classes. And you have 10 to 12 people on ER underneath your level 1 leader, and they now get a paycheck that pays for their order forever. That's huge. So month 2, I had 27 people and 2,300 OGV. Month 3, 63 people and a 6,200 OGV, and this is just by tapping into friends of friends. And month 4, October 2014, 118 members. So we literally went 7, 27, 63, 118, 14,739 OGV. And so 12 weeks into my business, John and I hit silver. How? How's that even possible to hit silver 12 weeks into your business? That's absolutely crazy. Not if your goal is to sign their circle, right? But how do you do that without consistently asking them, buy a kit, buy a kit, buy a kit? Your goal is education. So you just funnel them to the next thing. You check off which classes they've had. Do you know what would happen to your team if every single person on your team had all 4 classes? Your OGV and ER would blow up because they know the uses for thieves. And I was surprised when I took a poll on my page, like 60% of my own silvers had never had a formal thieves class. Imagine what that would do to your OGV if people had a formal thieves class. That's crazy. So what if they all had the core 4 classes? Oils, thieves, Ningxia, CBD. Those are the 4 starter kits. So those are the center of the products that we sell at Young Living. Oils and oil-infused products. The thieves in the cleaning line, Ningxia in the supplements line, Savvy, and CBD. Supplements, it covers it all. So what if instead of asking them why they haven't got a kit after the 101 class, you tell them you want to train them for free and make sure they get the core 4 classes. Then they're asking you for the next class because they know that they're missing out, right? They feel like they've missed something. And so you incentivize them to bring a friend and you double your next class size. I have given you the 4 scripts in the back of Unstuck. They are heavily researched. The Ningxia script alone has over 400 sources, everything from thumb drives, from Diamonds with Gary speaking at Winter Harvest to science slides from 2015 convention speeches. Anything that I could find on Ningxia is included in one place, and it's easy for you to deliver. So each script has a professionally designed PowerPoint, a textable class, and a 30-day challenge calendar, just like Fearless, and it's all free. You want a sneak peek? We're just about to launch all the Thieves stuff, so you'll be able to hop on. You can grab Thieves, you can grab the new CBD PowerPoint. These are professionally designed. So let me just flip the camera around and just show you. This is what the Thieves PowerPoint looks like, and this is what the Ningxia PowerPoint looks like, and I can even show you, if I can bring it up here. This is, let me take you to oilabilityteam.com. This is how you find them all. These are free resources. They don't cost anything. You just go to share and you go to Unstuck. And it's going to take you to a button with all the Unstuck things on it. And you're going to scroll underneath. You'll see boot camp here, and there's short little 10-minute videos for boot camp, and there's long videos for boot camp. You'll see extras, and I do some training. If you see that box pop up, that's asking if you want to be on my newsletter. And I give all my newsletter people lots of free stuff and heads up on things coming out, so you don't want to miss that. But underneath is the core 4 downloadables. So 101 Oils, 102 Thieves, 103 Ningxia. I'll just show you the Oils button so you can see it. There's an entire class where I teach you how to teach the class. There's the full PowerPoint download, totally free, with media and videos and everything embedded in it. We make you look good. There's blank slides so you can add your own testimonies and story. Here's the entire script that goes with it. Totally free. You just print it off. Textable class, which I give people as they're leaving the class so they go back and listen to the class again. 30-day challenge calendar that takes them on a scavenger hunt through their kit, and graphics to be able to market your classes. And we did that for all 4 classes, right? So, Oils, Ningxia, Thieves, and CBD, they're all on my website and they don't cost you anything. So go utilize some of those tools. Again, what are the chances that your new oiler is sitting there with no kit and no essential rewards after having 4 classes in Young Living? So use that as an opportunity to train on essential rewards. All of my classes follow the same formula. Share your story, read the script, click through the slides, pass around the kit, sign them up, repeat, right? Script, kit, human, repeat. Super easy. Script, kit, human, repeat. And if you get 10 to 12 people signed, sounds like a lot, but from 4 classes, that's like 2 people per class, 2 or 3. And you get them on ER by doing core 4 with each of those people, then your level 1, your family member or your friend, never pays for their Ningxia or Thieves or CBD again. Sign their circle. But how do you get that far? Like, how do you get them signed? You get them fired up with the core 4. Get them fired up with the core 4 classes. You build a 3-month ER wish list based on what they need. You train them to look things up in the pocket reference guide. You teach them how to fish, and then you help them keep their order in their regular budget by having people underneath them so they're getting a paycheck, right? So that's tip 1 from Unstuck, is to utilize the Mojo Methods just to get your head out of a bad place. Now we're going to jump to tip number 2.